All right. So I got a little bit of time waiting for my battery to charge up for my rotary tool. Keep pointing my head. So I figure I'd give you some more tales from the shop while I'm sitting out here drinking beer. So we're going to go back to a lot of stories are going to be from around a time when I was stationed at Great Lakes in Illinois. And we had, me and a couple of my buddies, we were obviously big into cars. So you get into some mischievous shit when you're not trying to. So this all started off with one of my buddies. His name was Tim. He had bought a truck. He was on leave and went to San Diego, I believe. And he's on his way back. His car breaks down somewhere in Arizona. He stops in some little freaking town. He buys this four-wheel drive Toyota truck for like $1,500. Got a 3-inch suspension lift, 4-inch body lift, whatever. The thing was kind of tall for as little as it was. I don't know, it had like 33s under it or something. But he rides it back to Great Lakes. Well, in transit, he just scrapped his car out there, threw it in a junkyard because I guess it was just a pile of shit, and grabs this truck. But this truck is nice. It's rust free, man. I mean, I'm from Northern Illinois. I live in the Rust Belt. Everything here rots away to nothing. Well, he realizes that it's an older truck. It's like an 83, 81, somewhere in that range Toyota truck. So he lost the title and decides he's going to get another title. He finds one rotted out, a two-wheel drive, from a guy we ended up doing business with. I want to say his name was Raul, but I don't really remember. I mean, because we're talking more than 20 years back. The guy was cool as shit. They run a wrecker service, so they had all these cars, and they'd tow cars. People wouldn't come pick them up. They'd get the people just be like, "Here, take the fucking title." I guess that's the only thing I can figure. So he talks to him. And this is one of our first interactions with this guy. He sells him this Toyota truck, same year, but it's two-wheel drive. So he takes the VIN out and puts it in the other truck, which, you know, might be illegal, might not, just depending on who you're talking to. So, in the middle of this, we have to get rid of this other truck with no title. Well, my shop has got a steel bin the size of two full-size trucks. Nothing's stolen, so we don't see a problem with this. So we decide we're going to have some fun. And this story is going to lead on to another one also. We decide we're going to have some fun. I've got a roller at my disposal, a dozer, a loader with a 4-in-1 bucket. We're just going to have some good old fun. So we come in, we don't realize he's chopping this up, and I'm like, "What are you doing?" "Oh, I got to get rid of this body." I'm like, "All right, cool." I was like, "Let's have some fun." I grab the roller. He's chopping at it with a sawzall, my torch, whatever, I don't even remember now. We go in there, and I take the roller, and I try running over the top of it. Can't do it. Just the truck's still too high. So I grab the dozer. I flatten it some more. So I get the roller, I get up on there, and the hydrostat's going. I get on the roof or the hood, and the damn, it's just sitting there spinning. The drum's spinning. I'm like, shit. Wish I'd had the sheep's foot on it. I'd have put that shit on Vibe and just punctured a shit ton of holes in it, but wasn't on there, and the hell if I was taking a couple hours to change it out. So I get stuck on there. The roller's just spinning. They get the loader pulling me off. I'm trying to fold this thing in half with the loader. Clamping down on one end, pushing against the ground to fold it. Yeah, it just didn't work out how we wanted. We ended up cutting this thing up. So after having all this fun, we had fun doing it. We had all this fun. We take the loader. We go down to what's called MWR. We dump it in the steel bin. Now, nothing's stolen. And it was to my understanding at the time, I couldn't tell you now, that all the money from that went to MWR on base. Which, okay, you had all these recruits and these kids in A school over there. Let them have it. They're going to have parties, whatever, it's just extra money to them. Just scrap steel to us. And we chopped it up into little chunks. So this goes on. This was just the first car we did. So my buddy gets a Camaro, or I'm sorry, he got a Firebird and a Camaro. He had bought an 82 Firebird. We built a 383 for it, and he needed an interior parts or something. And the dude Raul, he had one sitting there with a title. with Texas tags that broke down the side of the road. The people must have sent him the title. We get it back. Somebody had built this engine, had roller rockers, forged pistons. It was just a 350, but, hey. So we stripped the car down, and I don't know. He wants to keep the title in the VIN, and this is another guy altogether named Larry. He wants to put the title in the VIN in a placard, and he just thinks it's the coolest thing in the world. Since he thinks we can just get rid of the body. I'm like, all right, whatever. So we chop this one up. Take the loader, dump it in their Big Ben, 2 o'clock in the morning on a Saturday, nobody knows. Well, turn around. We do this 91 RS he bought because he needed something off of it, and he got it so cheap he didn't care. Once again, this one didn't come with the title, it came with the bill of sale. So we were not trying to get rid of it. So we cut it up and just get rid of it. None of this stuff's stolen, mind you. None of it. And like I said, we're just figuring MWR is just going to use the money for whatever. We don't care. It's free money to them. They didn't have to do nothing. Well, I can't remember what the fourth... Oh, I had bought an 87 IROC as a winter beater. I decided I wanted to keep the VIN and title since we've been doing this for a year now. Or 6 months, whatever it was. It was some time it went by. Winter was over. I let my buddy part it out, turn around. I cut it up into little chunks, throw it in the steel bin, dump it off, and I'm at work one morning. Now, this is the fourth car we just scrapped like this. I mean, we could have took this stuff to the scrapyard. It wouldn't have been that big a deal. Just MWR was right there. It was free money to them. I'm sitting in my office, right? And I get 2 dudes up in there going, we're looking for payoffs from McCord. And I'm like, yeah? I'm like, who are you? They're like, we're NCIS. I'm like, oh, fuck. Because it ain't like I don't have enough history with NCIS at this point in my career. Because a couple of deployments in my battalion earlier, we know each other. Well, turn around. And I'm like, what's the problem? They said somebody's stealing cars and throwing them in the steel bin over at the recycling center. So I'm like, oh, is that what's going on? Oh, I didn't know that. You're not going to admit to shit. And even if you aren't going to get in trouble for it because you can prove none of it was stolen. I was like, huh. Like, okay. It's like, they said, well, the only ones on the base that are capable of doing what's going on is this shop right here. And I'm like, I don't know what the fuck you're talking about. And there's only me and 2 other people got a key to the shop, so don't know. Now, this was 20-something years back. I mean, they come to my door, knock on the door today. They're going to met with a fucking 45. Fuck them. It's long over. It was nothing. It was nothing then, but they're going to blow some shit out of proportion, and it's just how it is. So, I'm bullshitting my way through this with them. I'm like, nope, nope, nope. And they're like, we know it's you. I'm like, can you prove it? Do you have this on video? Do you see me doing this? And they're like, no, but we know it's you. And I'm like, well, I'm not admitting the shit, motherfuckers. Get the fuck away from me until you got some proof. So at that point, I got to go around all these motherfuckers I work with. I'm like, yo, no more. We're done. So we were done. No more free money for MWR. But I just thought you would enjoy the story while I'm at a hole waiting for some batteries to charge so I can finish porting these heads.